What is your favorite anime?
Mine's Skrillex.
Skrillex.
I'm so distanced from human sensibilities and stuff.
Was getting caught part of your plan?
Put your tray tables up and your seat in that full upright position, because this is The Flight Plan, the official podcast of Big Guy for You Scanlations, Japan's #1 Bane posting manga scanlation podcast. Join the flight crew, Tom and Aiden, as we rant about all the anime, the manga, and all that scanlation content. Tom, what are we talking about today?
Looks at wrist. Ooh, what's this? Look at the date, dude.
Notices your date? Notices your
bulge. Ooh, what's this? It's time for new anime seasons.
Let's have a little look-see.
Yeah, so this is, the classic time where we get to be full of hope, and we're bushy-eyed and bright-tailed, in that order, and yeah, let's get ready for the next season of anime.
So, many moons ago, Motorman 5, or V, however he pronounces it, said that we shouldn't use my anime list, we should use AniChart. But Today, when I went to look up AniChart, the whole website was blank. It didn't have anything. It was like DDoS or something. So
very sad.
We're back to Mal.
That's okay. I mean, it serves its purpose. The other one whose name I forgot instantly, that might be better, but this one works.
And you know what does work is Dungeon ni Di wo monomurmunu machamukana K2. Electric Boogaloo.
The one where it's like, hey, it's cool if I pick up chicks in a dungeon, right?
Yeah, second season of chicks picking up in dungeon. Have you seen the first season?
No, all I know is one of the characters, I believe her name is Hestia. That's the one from the Shiny Teeth and Meat Gift.
Yes, which we had to watch beforehand. And there's actually the whole song that they made on the YouTube channel. It's got 500,000 views or something. My shiny teeth and me, and my shiny teeth that sparkle.
From Fairly Oddparents. If any of you are too old or too young actually to know.
To watch that anime, yeah. The Fairly Oddparents anime. They even had a movie.
I'm surprised that season 2 took so long to come out. I feel like season 1 came out 5 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of like maybe a One Punch Man situation, which I also don't know why that took so long.
Well, Dungeon is based off of a light novel.
Yeah.
Well, I know why it took so long with One Punch Man is because it's a very slow comic. The original webcomic that's drawn by himself, I think, is the better one. But the story is way progressed. But when you look at the anime, and even the anime is based off the manga, and the manga adds a ton of extra stuff to pad out.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's...
Well, how...
There's whole arcs in the redrawn manga that don't happen in the other one. Whole battles and stuff, because they're just filling the time.
I guess this is kind of light spoilers for the end of season 2 of One Punch Man, but it ends with Garo, the guy who wants to be a monster.
Yep.
He leaves to go meet up with a certain group.
The Atsuki.
Yeah. He's got to go kill his whole clan.
Yeah. Why did you do it?
How much further is the manga then compared to that then?
Oh, way farther.
Well, so it shouldn't have taken 5 years for season 2.
No, well, it's way farther because they've added filler. Or not, I don't even want to call it filler, but they add more battles to it. A battle that will take 2 chapters in the original takes 40. So it's huge. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I would be curious to know how much further they have manga content wise, when season 3 basically might come out.
All I know is that King is the best.
He's pretty cool.
Followed by Blizzard, followed by... Who's the other one? Who's her sister? The 2 sisters are good, yeah.
They didn't play a huge role in this season, and I don't remember enough of season 1 to remember their characters.
They play a big part in the manga, and I like it, especially recently, where the whole dynamic, one of the best scenes of it is when Blizzard Hell walks in and she sees 5 S-rank people sitting there playing video games at Saitama's house.
Right.
And she's like,
King's house.
How do you know? No, she was at Saitama's house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he's playing with King, and she's like, she barely gets to see King anywhere in the back, and he's a super demon because everybody doesn't realize that he doesn't have any powers. And there's a whole the one that is the original webcomic has an arc recently that's about King. That's so good. His King is the character that I love the most from it. And this arc recently is about Saitama knows that King doesn't have any powers, but he's like,
Does Genos know?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe he's like, I want to learn to get better, and Saitama's like, I mean, I can't teach you anything. Go see a thing. So he goes to a bunch of other people, and he's like, I want to learn how to be stronger. I'm not that strong. And they're like, King, you're so modest. And it's like through.
It's like Socrates. I know nothing.
Yeah,
but
and then he's like, yeah, I'll have a one-on-one battle with you. He's like an S-rank dude, and he fights him. Pull your sword out, and King is just like looking at the sword, and the guy pulls it in. He's like, oh my god, his body language is such killing intent. He doesn't even hold the sword properly, and it's like he's doing it on purpose. Like he must have moved in a blink of an eye, and I can't even keep up. It's just that type of like misunderstanding situation.
Yeah,
is just one of my absolute favorites.
I mean. And really, he's the most relatable because King is just like me, except nobody thinks I'm the strongest man on earth.
Yeah, it's like he just fell into it. And the lore is actually, he took credit for some of Saitama's battles.
Well, I think they kind of showed that briefly in the anime.
That.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, were you that dude from that one time? Because, and then he got scratched one time, and it's like, wow.
Well, this happens again at the end of season 2. I mean, kind of minor spoilers, but there's like a giant enemy that King kind of like provokes. And then the enemy's rushing towards King, and he's like, Saitama, where are you? Because like they both arrived there, at the same time. And then Saitama kills him, obviously.
Yeah. But then King gets credit because.
Well, I don't know actually, because
I'm sure he does. Yeah.
Only like Genos, Bong, and his brother were there, so it was just like all the heroes there, and I think they saw Saitama do the punch.
Oh, that's great! I love the show.
Yeah, it's really good. I can't wait for season 3 in 10 years.
Speaking of a pretty good show, we got Dr. Stone. This is it's like a Breaking Bad version, but instead of meth, it's bro 420 weed stoner.
No,
it's Dr. Stone, dude.
I see.
Dr. Stoney. Woo. Vape Nation.
But instead of cooking up meth, they cook up civilization.
Wow, that's deep.
This is like a really good season for shonen, and this is one of the shows. So at the time of this recording, episode 1 is out of a number of shows, and I only watched a few, but Dr. Stone was definitely one of them. Basically, the premise is, for some reason, like in one day, every person on Earth, and I think even some animals, if not all animals, turn to stone. Thousands of years pass, and a couple of dudes wake up. Of course, they're high school kids, and one is like Rick and Morty super genius, and the other is just like meathead, but they're like friends, and like they both hatch from the stone shells or whatever, and then they start to rebuild civilization. It's like basically primitive technology, the anime, that YouTube
Minecraft,
channel. Yeah.
He goes, instead of punching trees, you punch stone.
Something like that, yeah. And like the first episode is them basically getting frozen and then waking up and then working together to try to come up with some kind of serum to like
reverse stone.
Yeah, reverse stone, exactly. Basically, they're looking for what is it, gold needle or something in Final Fantasy?
Oh yeah. It'll take off petrification.
Yeah.
Well, I read the first couple chapters of the manga maybe a year or two ago when you first brought it up. I thought it was really cool, I don't think they had a lot of chapters out back then.
Right, maybe not.
So.
There's a cool dynamic between like the science bro and the muscle bro. Like they're kind of like friends, but also the science guy kind of just uses the muscle guy. He's like, do this for me, be my muscle, basically.
Yeah, well, he's the muscle. Yeah, his brain's the muscle.
Yeah, it's a nice dynamic.
They need the wild card.
Yeah. You cut the brakes.
It's like, no. It's like, no, I'm just kidding. We fixed the brakes because we knew he was going to do that.
I do have 2 complaints about the show, though. Well, first of all, I think the show is going to be really good. Like episode 1 was strong.
The cover looks good and the animation looks good.
Yeah, and the whole premise, like, I actually don't care about the mystery why they turned into stone. I just want to see how they build civilization from nothing. It's the whole primitive technology, like, appeal.
Yeah, it's like building an RTS base, like.
Yeah.
And like you said, if nobody knows what we're talking about, primitive technology YouTube channel builds huts out of straw and mud and all things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, except this one, the anime Dr. Stone will go a lot further because he's trying to rebuild all the civilization.
Yeah.
It's, I think, a translation kind of weird quirk or something, but he says to his buddy, "We will become the Adam and Eve of this world." I don't think I don't think it works like that, and he's a science guy, so he should know that it doesn't work like that. But maybe he'll advance science so
it's
much.
Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Got him, dude. I do have a couple weird complaints though. The main girl love interest of like the musclehead guy, she looks like she's from an old anime. It's like a really weird art style. It doesn't really mesh with.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just it's a weird complaint. And the other complaint I have is the science character. I forgot his name. It's like Senshi or something.
Dexter.
Yeah, Dexter. It's more like Rick Sanchez, dude, because he's kind of like Reddit tier IFL science. Like,
oh, he is? Yeah.
Not really. I'm reading into it, but he's like, science is the best, and like he has like a catchphrase like 10 billion. It's like, I'm 10 billion% sure that such and such.
I turned myself into a stone, Morty.
Yeah, he did it the whole time. It was him. It's like he's a high school kid, but he knows all of this chemistry, all this like biology, all this every science.
Japanese school system there is actually teaches you stuff, so it's believable.
Okay, fair enough, I guess. You know, and it's an anime, so I can suspend disbelief. I guess when you're like a stone, you still have consciousness to a degree if you keep it.
You go insane, like
well, he counted the whole time, so he knew exactly how much time had passed.
Psychopath.
And he's like, I had to know if I was going to wake up in winter or spring, because if I woke up in winter, I would die because I wouldn't be able to forage and stuff. So he counted like 1, 2, 3, and at one point he even says like, let's use parallel processing with my brain or something. Like he's counting seconds with I guess one thread of his brain, and then I don't know.
Multitask drifting is what they call that.
Yeah, so I think that they're setting up the implication that some people might just be like mind broken or something, which I think could be really cool to kind of explore.
You wake up and you're crazy. What you said it was hundreds of years?
Thousands. I think the year's 5,000 or something.
That's insane.
Yeah, well, speaking of...
It doesn't make any sense. Like, that's beyond magic. Like,
I know.
Like, your brain is not meant to do that. You will go crazy in solitary confinement for, like, in a week.
Unless you're a crazy Dexter, Rick and Morty guy who can count forever.
I
can count for 3,000 years.
That made him crazy, though. I bet he's going to have a lot of like, later on, maybe there's a twist that he is, like, insane.
He does seem equally as, like, insane and or quirky as before the stonification, though, petrification.
Before he got stoned, if you will.
Yes, and I will. And Muscle Guy, he kept saying by...
Flexing his muscle.
No.
He was jelking. He did kegels for 1,000 years.
Just flex
he has
your
the strongest pelvis muscle in the world.
No, because when he got turned into stone, he was about to confess to a girl that he liked for like 5 years. So this whole time, his crush for that girl kept him sane for thousands of years. I don't think so, buddy.
Yeah.
I think he'd move on.
Yeah, well.
But I guess since he's such a one-track minded meathead, that's like his extreme archetype.
There's a one shot that's very similar to this, where it's like, I will confess even if it's the end of the world. And so things keep coming in the way. Like, he's like, let's walk home. And it starts to rain, and it's like, he goes through heaven and earth, gets an umbrella, and they walk, and then he's walking, and then they pause, and then somebody comes up to mug him, and he takes his pants off and hands it to him, and the dude's like, what are you doing? It's like, I must do I have to do this no matter what, like, do this thing. And the burglar is moved, and then when he's done getting robbed, an alien comes down, and he's like, you have to answer my questions or I will kill the entire human race. And he's like, I must do something and then like the aliens are moved by his passion.
Wow. And then at the end he confesses, and she's like, well, I kind of like, Toshio
we're just
instead.
A friend.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure they get together.
Yeah. All right, but
Anything else
that's
with Dr. Stone.
No, that's pretty much it. I'm just really excited to watch it, and I'm glad that there's good shonen.
I'll go back and read some of it maybe.
For sure.
We're up to Inen no Shubutai Kai Bokutai
and no Shobotai, which is, I think, Fire Force is like the localized name that they've been using, like Crunchyroll official.
This is Soul Eater dude.
Yeah, which I watched episode 1 of this, and I think I might watch Soul Eater because I was so impressed by this. It's so cool.
Like the animation or story or what?
Just mostly like just the world building.
Didn't you see Soul Eater though?
No.
Oh.
I
saw it. It was a great show.
The only thing I know about Soul Eater is I was on a like a college school bus type thing. You know how they like take you to campus and stuff. And I was there with a friend, and we overheard some girl on the phone yell talking about Soul Eater. That's all I know about it.
It's a good show.
People are weapons and they're partners or something.
Yeah. Frankenstein is a professor, and he's like the coolest dude.
Cool.
And then like one of my favorite tropes is like romance with a villainess. Like that's my favorite. Like it's so great. Like imagine like winning them over to your side, and then boom, the ultimate win, you get her pregnant. Like it's like based, and there's something like that. Yeah, so there's something like that with Stein in the thing. So it's like really cool. Yeah, good show.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out just to kind of tide over the wait for the next episode of Fire Force.
And the OP is pretty cool if I remember.
Same
it's
with
in
this.
the Hot Blood soundtrack.
Oh, nice. So I might recognize it. That's cool.
Yeah.
I always thought it was kind of like, I'm gonna say this, and anyone listening will hate me for it, but I always thought it was like Full Metal Alchemist, in which it was just overrated, which I also haven't seen, so I can't say that.
You know, I never saw Brotherhood, and so the normal Full Metal Alchemist was its own story because the manga wasn't
the ending was. Yeah.
Well, a good part in it, like halfway. And so Brotherhood is a redone, and I read the manga recently a couple years ago, and I thought it was really good. I'd never seen it before.
Yeah.
And that was pretty good. And to get back to firefighters, great premise is like they fight magical fires, and there's like demons.
So it's almost like they have like an RPG kind of party. They're like firefighters that fight people who turn into like fire demons, basically. Like they have a priestess, and all these designs are so good too because they're all like firefighter outfits but tweaked enough. Like there's like a magic witch caster, and she has like a witch hat for her.
That's cool.
For her,
I love
like,
the witch hat aesthetic.
I know, it's so good.
The drawings are awesome. The character design is awesome.
And even the world building is cool because like they say like, oh, we need to purify the souls of these fire guys. I forgot what the term is, inflamed or whatever. And it's like we need to send them back to the great eternal flame. Like there's like a religion kind of around it, and like the priest like prays to like purify the souls and stuff. It's really
basically
cool.
Dark Souls, where it's the flame keeper, the fire, like the bonfires.
I would play this Dark Souls so much because like the main character is, I don't know, it doesn't really go into it in the first episode, but I think they're like half breeds or something because he looks like a fire demon.
He's half fire.
Yeah, he's called like a third generation fire dude or whatever. And he's got like fangs. All of his teeth are sharp. So I assume he's like part demon. And his mom had like fangs.
An aesthetic choice.
I don't know. It doesn't really say. But he can create fire from like his heels of his feet. And he can like jet around.
Oh man, I don't remember this.
It's so cool. He like flies around. Like I would play that game.
One of the problems with this manga though is that it's like licensed and you can't find it anywhere. So it's not on MangaDex. And then the people scanlating it on MangaDex decided to rip off like 60% of the chapters. So it was very hard to find.
Oh, well, that's a bummer. Read the Raws.
Yeah. I think you could say that this anime is lit.
You know, I thought about that line and I totally forgot about it. When I was watching it, I was like, yeah, I'm going to say that. But yeah, I really like it a lot. That and Dr. Stone, I think, are like two big winners for this season for sure.
A series that I didn't know is still going on, but it is Railgun. To Akago, blah, blah. I can never pronounce these words. I guess that's the running meme. But this is the series spinoff that's based on Accelerator, who is probably one of the coolest, I think, villains ever. And he has one of the most interesting powers. He can change vectors.
Oh, that's the guy who has like a computer hooked up into like an earbud or something, and it like calculates vectors for him.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, it's not so much that he might get that later. As like a accessory thing, but he doesn't need a computer to change the vectors.
Well, he has to calculate it, doesn't he? Like he has to know the numbers.
I think he's just a genius because the city is a giant school and it gets like level 5s or whatever, and he's like a level S rank. He's beyond that because he's like he can change the vector of your blood flow by touching you.
Well, any vector of anything.
Yeah,
it's God.
It's so broken, and he's basically a god. And then Toma beats him because he's got a magic left hand. It's that just nullifies magic. So that's the only way. Yeah. So otherwise.
Wait, so it's magic that his vector thing's magic. It's not just like advanced science. Because isn't in Railgun isn't like half of everyone's powers are magic, half of them are technology.
Yeah, but so his is like, I think it's a trifecta. It's like magic, science, and religion is one.
Oh, okay.
Because the main girl is like a priestess.
I've seen her before. Yeah, I thought main girl
or maybe there's two.
Sparky, I believe her name is.
Index herself is the little girl. Okay. She's the index of like the equivalent of the Akashic records or something. I don't.
Whoa.
The story doesn't make any sense. I read the manga. I watched the first season. I still have no idea what's going on. I just watched compilations on YouTube about their tsundere romance. That's all I know about this thing.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, I just download all the safe for work doujins, and they're so cute. They go on dates, and then she's tsundere. She goes and like meets up with him, and then there's indirect kisses, and it's pretty good.
But can he change the vector of her heart?
Ah, there you go. Actually, yes, because
if it's a vector, he can change it.
yes,
Yeah.
because
Is that date rape?
Misaka is Railgun, and she gets cloned, and they make Misaka clones. But one of them is messed up and turns into lowly Misaka, and then
Only in anime.
and then she's kind of Ponketsu,
Okay.
and takes a liking to Accelerator. So
I
that's
see.
his GF.
Nice.
And then they go out, and he's
State-mandated GFs. Everyone
yeah,
has
and he's tsundere towards her.
Ooh,
so
real
it's
inversion.
another dynamic, and they're cute, and there's probably a good amount of those doujins as well.
Nice. It's a series that I want to get into because it sounds so cool
Yeah.
and rich, but it's too much to do.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like Fate, but Fate's bad. So
And yeah, this is way better than Fate.
Yeah.
I would say if you ever want to get into this, skip the anime, just go read the light novels. Like honestly,
no, I've never read a light novel in my life, and I will probably keep it that way.
light novels are pretty good if you want them.
I don't read. I'm not able to read physically. I don't have the brain juice.
Well, you know what you need to do then? You need to pick up some dumbbells with dumbbell non-kilo Moteru.
Yeah, and I believe we did a Mega Minute on this way back when.
Yeah, this was back when it was just budding out and nobody knew it was going to be a hit. You know, I've actually gotten emails from the publisher, and he's like, it was thanks to your episode, your Manga Minute on this, that we got enough attention to really push this into an anime. So they sent us personal thanks. He flew in and, he signed all of our stuff. I thought it was really cool to meet him.
Yeah.
I'm glad that he's doing well, and I'm glad that we could help with that.
And I have to say, I've really been enjoying the body pillows that he sent us.
It was great, yeah.
Yeah, of the main characters, whatever their names are, because it's been so long since I read it, I don't remember.
This is blowing up on Twitter because there's a scene where she's thick. The Gairu is like pudgy, like anime fat,
Right.
but in real life it's just a little thick.
Yeah.
And so that's blowing up. Everybody's either upset or really into it.
I can see that.
You know,
yeah.
you got the health at every size people that are like fat shaming and things like that.
Yeah.
But then you have anime Twitter that's all up into it. And so I'm just scrolling through my timeline, and that's all I get. So
Yeah. I forgot this was actually out. The site I used to watch anime has been really bad at updating in general, like this last week or two. So I didn't notice that it was out. So I will definitely watch episode 1 after this.
So I like the concept of it, and I'm big into fitness myself. I can bench press 3 plates, but I don't.
I won't counter signal you. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Look, I'm just trying to tell all the single GFs that in the passengers that I'm pretty fit.
Yeah, of course.
I'm also 6'9".
Oh, okay, and 300 pounds, all muscle.
Yeah, I never got into the plot. I mean, it's fun, it's cute, and it is what it is. But I like something with like more substantial story,
Yeah.
and things like that. But it's a fun thing to sit down and just like. It's one of those that it's just comfy, I guess would be a good word.
Right, yeah, I think so. And some people, I think, have reported that it makes them feel like motivated to go to the
Working
gym.
out. Yeah, well, that's cool. Hey, if they can do that, Abe
Yeah.
really has his programs up. He's talking about like animes that make you want to get married and have kids and go on dates and stuff. And now this one's trying to get fit. So, I wish the media in the West was trying
wholesome.
to do the opposite of what it's doing, which is just trying to kill us and, make us all cuts. But
Well,
it's...
I mean, not every anime is positive, though. Some of them, like, make you into a spineless dweeb who gets picked on by a girl.
Wow, what a transition for Takagi-san. Season 2.
Yeah, which... That's about probably an average length between seasons 1 and 2. About a year, maybe, or half a year. I don't know how long it's been.
So, Nagatoro came before Takagi-san, but
The manga.
Takagi-san, made, I think, the bully genre what it is. I think that's the one that really popped off first.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was soon after that Nagatoro got picked up as a series. Otherwise, it was just a CG set.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, when does Nagatoro get an anime? Because I feel like that will explode.
How does it not?
I think
Honestly,
it's too hot for TV.
it's so good. But we're talking about Takagi right now. one of the best currently ongoing things. The manga is actually pretty slow to update. I don't know if that's from the scans or if it's that they're paused.
Consider now that there's like 5 different spin-off mangas in the Takagi verse. If it's all the same guy, then of course this one's going to slow down.
Well, I'm sure now he's got assistants that are drawing most of it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, as great as Takagi is, one of the ones he does is now my favorite more than that, and that's Shogi Senpai.
Shogi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
he does
so
that?
yeah.
Is he the guy who does like all the one-shot kind of Twitter ones?
He does a lot of one-shots.
I didn't realize that was him. I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, and that one, and Shogi Senpai just got serialized as well.
Wow.
So it's on like chapter 18 of its serialization. Dude's blowing up. I mean, he's great. He's fantastic. If you haven't seen the first Takagi-san, go watch it. It's fun. It's great. I even like the manga more, but like, she's got a big forehead, which is fine because I have a big forehead.
Okay.
He's a little spineless. He gets
which is fine because I'm a little spineless.
Yeah, I'm a little spineless, and but he gets a little bit better towards the end, just a little bit.
Well, he ends up marrying her, so
Well, that not in this episode, but
but in one of the spin-offs.
Canonically, yeah.
And that's the only one I would be interested in seeing.
Is when they're married.
Yeah.
That appeal wears off because it is now it's about like his daughter and like it's mostly the daughter and mom. Like he's not in it a lot.
Sad. Yeah. Very sad.
It's an absentee father.
He's off being a salaryman. See, that's the wage slave life. It's sad.
Well, if he gets hit by a truck, maybe he'll go into an isekai.
Oh no, not another isekai.
And that's Isekai Cheat Magician. This is about NTR. It's a full isekai about NTRing magicians.
I would not doubt it one bit.
No, I'm sure there is an NTR. Actually, there is a brand new isekai that came out. It's like I got isekai'd and now I'm a prostitute in a fantasy world. So that's what
based.
it is. Yeah.
Well, I don't have anything to say about this, and I suspect you don't either.
I did.
Oh, really?
I have read it.
I
have read it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've read so many isekai that I don't remember which one this is.
This is the one where there's a cheat magician.
Yeah, that's really helpful because they all have some super secret power hack, like all magic. Yeah, I'm reading the description and it just sounds so generic. I can't even get over it. Like now it's like it has to be something completely weird, like I'm turned into a bathhouse for even to register as something different in my mind. We've talked about this before, but they have this thing where they lock on a trope, be it bullying or isekai or fantasy world or
it's
something.
Not just anime, that's everything. Like look at mobile games.
Dude,
like
we did talk about that.
Yeah,
it's like every
everything.
Crash Royale, Royal Crash.
If something makes money, there's going to be 1,000 copycats.
Yeah.
How about instead of a cheat magician, you tell me about this other magician? Because this one looks cool.
Even better magician is Tajina Senpai. Tajina? How do you...
Yeah, Tajina.
Okay, cool. All right, so... MC basically finds out that he's required to join a club, which is, I think all Japanese schools do that. That's something like the most common trope ever.
Actually, I don't think they're always required, but I think it's highly encouraged.
Anyway, his this big plotted, busty milk truck senpai.
Oh yeah, milk truck for sure. Mega milk.
Yeah, convinces him to join the magic club, and she's Punketsu, where she can't do a trick because her boobs get in the way and things like this.
And just to be clear, this is magic like rabbit out of a hat, like stage trick magic, not like Megumin magic.
Right. And basically, she just wants an audience to do her magic tricks and things like that. So he's now filling that role. And then there's some other characters that come in, side characters, and some more people join the club. It's just a fun little thing. I don't think it's a 4-coma, but it's that type of style where it's episodic. It's like a fun little thing doing magic tricks.
I think, don't quote me, but I think the anime is 12-minute episodes, so that would kind of fit in with that kind of feeling, like short little comedy type thing.
I really like it because she's part of one of the reasons why she's so punketsu and bad at magic is because she's super bashful and shy when she starts doing a trick, and that cuteness helps her fumble through things, and then sometimes she fumbles through something and does the magic trick, or the sleight of hand accidentally becomes her boobs popping out or something.
Of course.
Not like nothing graphic, but
like ecchi
lewd.
probably.
Yeah,
yeah.
is a good
I think I'm gonna watch it because it does sound kind of cute, like the premise and all that.
It sounds good, and she's a pretty good girl. She's wholesome,
and she looks like it.
And then I don't know if they'll get to this episode, probably because it's like early in the season. But she gets trapped in a box trying to do a magic trick, and the MC walks in, and she had left her rabbit up on the thing, and you know how the Japanese language is very not opaque, but abstract. Indirect. So he's saying he loves the bunny, but they don't use a subject in the thing.
He just says like love.
Yeah, and so she's like, "Oh my god, he loves me," and then so there's a
He
little
doesn't
arc
even
of
know
that.
she's in the box, right?
Yeah, he doesn't know she's anywhere.
She's so stupid. Like
I know, that's the part. That's the charm, is that she's an idiot.
Aren't girls the cutest when they're basically retarded?
Yes, they are.
That picture.
Yeah.
I think of that meme every day.
Speaking of other cute girls, I'm not even going to bother to try and pronounce this, but it's like, I'll go kill the Demon King for my little daughter, Lolita. Or,
by, what is it, Nabokov or something?
Nabokov. Vladimir Nabokov.
Vladimir.
I'm pretty sure he's Russian.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
If it's for my daughter, I'll even defeat the Demon Lord. I read this manga way back when it started going on, and the daughter is so cute, and she's like a adopted little demon girl.
Oh, she's a demon?
Yeah, she's got little horns and stuff, which is super cute. And then there's one really tragic little arc where they bully her about her horns, her classmates.
Oh, no.
And so I can't remember if she tried to or she did. She chops off her own horns, and it's like,
ooh, that's messed up.
I remember the threads about it all the time.
No.
And so
do they grow back?
I don't know. I stopped reading around there because I saw those spoilers, and I'm like, I can't handle this.
Well,
so
now
watch it.
everyone listening, don't watch it because you've heard the spoilers too.
Yeah, but
the picture looks like there's like a whole class of elementary school kids.
well, she makes friends.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's other people. And there's no rom-com in it, so I don't read it a lot because it's not like a Usagi drop where they end up hooking up anyway. But
what, the guy and the daughter?
yeah, an Usagi drop.
Is this? I don't know.
Yeah, it's the one we saw at that library one time.
I don't recall.
Okay, bunny drop. But yeah, she's a cute little girl. It's wholesome. It's a Dotaru style thing.
Right.
It's pretty fun.
Sounds decent, but it's isekai, and I don't know.
It's
I'm
not
just
an
very
isekai.
hesitant. Yes, it is.
I don't think so.
He gets isekai'd.
I don't think so. He's a highly skilled adventurer who made a name for himself despite his youth. Yeah, it's not an isekai.
Well, it takes place in an isekai world, right?
It takes place in a fantasy world.
Wow.
But not fantasies or isekai.
Okay. I feel like we've had this exact argument from the opposite sides before.
I'm sure.
Oh, man. What's going on here? Okay, well, it's
if you want something
same
cute
energy.
and wholesome, then yeah, it is the same energy as a isekai. I'll give you that.
Just like the new hit isekai, my hot mom can double hit enemies, and we got isekai together.
Oh yeah, is that airing this season?
Yeah, if you scroll up, it's that one right there.
Oh, it's this one. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, from JC Staff.
What a ridiculous plot. Like, I haven't even read it. I just like looked at the title, and it's something like, I assume that the mom gets isekai'd with the son, or maybe they play an MMO.
Well, here you go. It's just when Matsuo thought a random survey conducted in school was over, he got involved in a secret government scheme. He was carried along with the flow and ended up in a game world. And if that wasn't enough, his mother was there as well.
It's so stupid. And she's like really strong.
Yeah,
and I assume they party up and like she carries him through all the missions.
Is a literal mommy GF.
Yeah, well, maybe not GF. I don't know. I don't know if
it
this goes that route. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not big into me just because I'm also kind of over isekais, except for the secret one that you'll see in a minute. Abaru Kitsu no Otomi Domo Yo? Is that the
Something
one
like
where they're okay. The girls in this high school literature club do a little ice break to get to know each other. Answering the question, what's one thing you want to do before you die? One of the girl blurts out, sex. Oh boy, this is a anime.
I want to do the
thoughts.
sex.
Is this about girls who are pure but are just like curious about stuff, or is this full-blown thoughts, Bella Daphne like type of?
I don't know, but I think that these are strong, independent young women who find their womanhood and become strong and empowered.
That just does not sound appealing.
It sounds very anti-anime, to be honest.
That's anti-Abe. Like his whole thing is like trying to get wholesome people, not like sexually liberated thoughts.
Yeah, you don't want your children to be watching this anime. Just based on the description. I haven't seen it. I won't. Not necessarily out of principle. It just doesn't appeal to me.
You're not the strong, independent woman target demographic.
No, I'm a strong, independent weeaboo. I don't need no... I don't know.
You don't need no GF.
Anime. Well, I wouldn't say
Volcel.
that. I wouldn't say that.
Speaking of one that's with the opposite type of girls, Joshi Koesei. How do you?
Joshi Kosei no Madazukai.
There you go. That one. Yeah, this is about
Or Mudazukai.
basically autistic girls.
Well, I think they're all like, yeah, actually they are kind of, they all have their own different kind of autism.
Yeah.
I saw episode 1 of this actually.
One day, out of boredom, Tanaka decided to give her classmates nicknames based on their quirks. Her friend Sakuchi became Ota for her nerdy interest, and her other friend became Robo because of her expressionless personality. In retaliation, her friends decided to give her the nickname Baka. That's kind of funny. Yeah, so it's like a slice of life where they're just going daily lives of high school girls.
Basically, yeah. That's what it seems like.
And they're just autistic, and they pick on each other. It's fun. I actually read like maybe 10 of the chapters. It was entertaining enough.
I don't remember any of the jokes, but there were a few, like 2 or 3 that I laughed out loud at when I was watching the episode 1, which is pretty impressive.
Wow. Yeah. In one episode?
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
yeah.
that sounds like I'm being sarcastic, but that's actually a really impressive thing for
I know.
anime.
But at the same time, a lot of it was just boring and kind of trite. Like the main trio, they're just boring.
Yeah.
Like especially the silent one, the Robo. It's like, oh, you want to be a microbiologist, so she's always talking about like microbiology and stuff. It's just
that's the meta narrative. It's because the daily lives are boring.
True.
It's like it's so normal. It's radical normalcy.
Right. The OP though, I have to say, gave me some hope because it showed off a lot of different girls. Like one's like a Chunibyo, which of course top tier.
Yeah.
And you know that like kind of fun little animation thing that people do where they like jump in the air to do poses and then they take a picture of that and then it looks like they're flying because they keep taking pictures of themselves jumping in the air.
Maybe.
Can you picture that? Like
maybe.
So like you jump where you are, take a picture when you're at your apex,
I've
and then
seen
you
that.
go a foot forward and jump and take
I've
another
seen
picture.
those on
The
Vine.
whole, like half of the OP is of the girls doing
Cool.
games like that. You need to watch the OP if nothing else because it's really inventive.
I will now. Yeah.
I've never seen that in animation form, and it's like that's a really clever thing to do. And the last comment I have on that is one of the girls. Well, have you ever you've seen like the fake English names like ABCDE? Oh, it's pronounced Absidy, or LA-A. Oh, it's Ladasha.
Ladasha. Yeah.
This one, her name is just the kanji for one, and it's pronounced
just a dash.
Yeah, and the main girl's like, what do you say, like ichi or like one or like how do you say that? And she's like, oh, it's ni no mai, which is before 2. Is basically the translation. She's like, I think there's only like 4 people in our whole prefecture or something with that name. It's like, I bet 0 actually. Yeah. It's like just before 2 is like the translation.
That's like a weird pronunciation.
Yeah.
Ladasha.
Yeah, so I'm gonna watch it probably a few more episodes. If I end up dropping it, I might, but it seems promising for sure.
This one looks crazy. Business fish. It looks like a dude with a normal body, but he's got a fish head. Kind of reminds me of like a WarioWare style, or like some kind of crazy kooky something. Or this dude has a poop head.
It looks very Japanesey.
He's 5'11". It looks like.
Yeah, because he's 3 feet tall. Yeah, it looks very bizarre.
She looks like Ace Attorney girl. She's got. I've only seen that hairstyle in 2 places. And that's one of them.
Yeah, for sure. Like the double, like it's like rabbit
double
ear
bow.
circles or something.
Yeah, like you tie your shoes into a hair knot.
Exactly. Yeah, you tie your hair like a shoe. But yeah, I have no idea what that is, and there's no synopsis available, so we'll never know.
Yep. We got One Piece going on. Everybody likes One Piece. I need to catch up. I actually haven't read it in maybe a year and a half, so I've got like maybe 50 chapters to go through. That's always a good time. That's a good weekend thing to do.
Yeah, I watched the anime like months ago, trying to like, I'm gonna watch the anime.
Yeah,
what a
right.
stupid thing. I started
it's like 900 episodes.
I know. I started with the Thriller Bark arc, and I watched all of it, and then I immediately just lost all momentum. So then I was like, I'll read the manga then. So I picked it up from there, and it's so boring. I kept falling asleep.
It takes a long time to get started.
Yeah, and that little like mini arc right after, which is like some mermaid thing, and I don't remember.
Mermaid Island.
Yeah, it was really boring. Although they did meet the guy who looks like Sanji's Wanted poster, so that was a funny little gag.
Oh yeah. Those are great.
But man, like I want so badly to like One Piece, I just can't get into it for whatever reason. It's just too big, I think.
You know, one is kind of. It's one of. I don't think the big three is a thing anymore of shonen mangas, but Black Clover would be in the running for that type of style shonen.
Really?
It's a really great shonen. It's like Boku no Pico Hero Academy.
Okay.
But the main protagonist is actually, he deserves what he's getting. Like, Deku is a cool character, and he's got some smart moves, but he kind of fell into a hacks type thing.
Yeah.
And nobody would really get it. This dude has no magic power, and he doesn't get any magic power.
Oh, cool. Ever?
Yeah.
Nice.
He has sword magic.
That's kind
like,
of
okay, so like, there's a meme where it's like, I'm a fist wizard, where I use muscle wizard. Like, so he's kind of like a negative magic thing.
Sure.
Like, he's got a cursed sword, and that's what he does. This is the best rival relationship I've seen, where they don't hate each other at all, but they're fiercely competitive, but they're not, there's no angst, there's no darkness, there's no killing somebody's family.
Does he say smell you later, though?
No. He says,
also it's second best
yeah,
rival.
and his Gramps named him Ass. Like,
Yeah.
But
actually, you name him, to be fair. You name your own rival.
What is my grandson's name again? Oh, it's Ass.
Oh,
it's
yes. How can I forget?
But I think it's great. And then it's like they like come in at the last minute and the rival saves his friend or whatever. It's just great.
Well, heavy spoilers, bro.
I need to catch up with the manga because it's fantastic. In fact, there's even a PS4 game that I downloaded the demo for. Great cel-shaded, great art, incredibly boring game. It's like more boring than a Muso if that's even possible.
Wow.
Speaking of big three, we got Boruto, which is Naruto's next generation.
Yeah,
go watch that if you like it.
It's the son of Naruto's dad, same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's not only garbage shonen.
There's Detective Conan.
Continuing on. No, Kimetsu no Yaiba. That's really good.
What's that?
That's like their Oni Slayers.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's really good. And I just want to do a weird complaint about the subs that I've been watching, which I assume are like the Crunchyroll official or whatever. So they say Oni, right? Have you heard that? You know what that is?
Yeah, it's
like a demon.
Yeah.
Okay, what about Tengu? You know what that is?
I've heard of it.
Like the nose guys, the big red long nose guys. They look like Usopp.
Yep.
Okay. So those are in the subs translated as demon and goblin. Okay, weird choice, but you want to Americanize it. That's fine. But here, have you ever heard of a Temari?
No.
Not me neither. I don't even know what it is. It's some kind of, it looks like a beach ball, but it like jingles or something. And like one demon, one Oni uses those as like a weapon. Like Waka from Final Fantasy did.
Oh yeah.
And in the subs they call them Maris or Temaris, I don't remember which one. And it's like, I don't know what that is as an English speaker. Call it a ball.
Well, later, the ball has more context than that.
Well, Mari has zero context to me as an English speaker. And same later, there's a guy who has like drums built into his body, and he like hits them to do different effects. And,
that's kind of cool.
And they call them by like the Japanese name for that specific drum. I don't even remember what it is. It's like, call them drums. Why are you localizing
Goblin
and Oni and stuff? And it's like not these weird obscure Japanese nouns that nobody's ever heard of. Seems weird to me.
It actually reminds me of a novel I read. What was it? It's about necromancers, and they use their magic by ringing bells. It's like the sound and the wavelength of the bells is like part of the magic. Like, and there's like 5 different types of bells, and they wear them on a sash. Like
nice.
It's like a uniform for all the abhorsons. I think that's what it's called. I think it's abhorsen, but. Which is the name of the necromancer.
How do you stop them from ringing when you're just walking around?
They're in cases. It's
Even
it's like a protective holster for your bell.
Yeah, but like you have to like put something in the bell to stop the ringer.
Like part of it. Yeah,
that's weird.
And you also have to like. It only has the power when it's like rung with intention.
Okay.
And I think
like magic.
And I think it's only the blood of the like the chosen one of that bloodline.
Sure.
That can really do the magic, but.
Sounds
it's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like awesome.
There was a young adult, I think, literature. I think it was called like Seventh Tower. I think that's what it was, where they had like color magic. I thought that was cool too.
That is pretty cool.
I like cool magic systems. Like that's the best.
Is that Seventh Tower?
I think so. Yeah.
Because I was really interested. The reason I liked the Abhorsen was because it had the cool magic system. Like that was it. That's why I got so into it.
Yeah. But anyway, back to Kimetsu no Yaiba. It's actually a really good show. It's so beautiful. Like, Maybe if you're a huge
Looks really
Sakuga
good,
nerd, you might not be impressed.
What,
But,
what nerd?
Sakuga, that's like really high quality bits of animation. Like there's even like Sakuga Boru where people post like clips of
Like
shows.
Shin-chan.
Yeah, exactly. Crayon Shin-chan. But like, dude, the effects on his sword when he does like water slashes, it looks like that famous Japanese wave ocean painting.
Oh wow, yeah.
It looks so good. Like you need to watch it.
I've seen some gifs of this, but it's mostly like the girl with a bondage thing.
Yeah,
in her
that
mouth,
I was
but-
gonna say that this is that one too, where she just makes cute little mute emoto noises or whatever.
noises in a moto or something.
Yeah. But it's a really good
grunts
show,
in
and I'm
Emoto.
glad that it's
Is there
this
any more
season, too.
development with the moto, or is she still in the basket?
sadly not. But he just gained 2 party members like at the same time, basically. So he went like 13 seasons, just him and the sister, kind of in the background. And now they just got 2 new party members, and one of them I think is gonna crush real hardcore on the sister. So I assume that they're both gonna get more screen time as a result, which is kind of cool. Yeah. Anything else that's continuing though?
There is actually. I was memeing, but Shin-chan is running.
Is it ever not? It seems like
know.
it's eternal.
The Eternal Shin-chan started in 1992.
And it's still like that mom looks so creepy. Like they all look weird, but the mom looks like really creepy.
Yeah, she looks like a skeleton actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Yu-Gi-Oh is going on.
Cool, awesome. I love Yu-Gi-Oh.
Inazuma 11, which is just Yu-Gi-Oh with soccer ball.
Exactly. I mean, it's just shonen of the week.
Star Twinkle Precure.
There's always a new Precure for sure.
This is kind of back into a thing. Jimoto Ga Japan looks like it's from the 80s or even earlier. It might be like 70s.
Yeah.
And that dude's got big lips.
Well, that used to be a big thing. I don't know. I don't even know where that came from. Like, is there like a Japanese like genetic archetype where they have big lips?
I have no idea. Yeah, but it has to be because I see it in the fat old man doujins all the time. They've got
It's
the big
always fat
lips
guys too, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Interesting. Duel Masters. What is that?
You don't remember Duel Masters? It's a card game that was like, it's kind of like Magic but dumbed down for kids.
I thought that was Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! King of Games. What is Duel Masters?
Well, it's just a card game. I mean, if you don't know, you don't know it, but it plays like Magic.
What's the one where they captured their Pokemon in giant CDs? Giant
Monster
discs?
Rancher.
Monster Rancher, yeah. You know, a couple years ago, I saw a video of a dude who went in depth with all the Monster Rancher series, everything about it, and like why they'll never make any more, like why it was made. Obviously, it was because it was a PlayStation
cash-in.
thing. So you know how that game worked? It was like a Pokemon, but to get new monsters, you didn't go walking wild grass. You took a music CD or a software CD and put it in your PlayStation, and it randomly generated a mob from the data on your music CD.
Yeah, to be fair, I think you could catch them in game also, but this was a different way to.
You got like new ones.
Yeah,
yeah, which is so cool. And they also early on they had little electronic toys back in the 90s where you would scan a barcode of like something in a grocery store.
Oh, I had one of those.
And you'd get a Tamagotchi from it or something.
Yeah.
We're really dating ourselves now.
Yeah. It was really lame, but the concept was super cool.
Yeah. That was just an early Pokemon Go. Think about it.
Kinda.
Except you buy less consumerism stuff from it. Like, but even then, you just go to the store and you swipe it, and you don't
could even
buy
make
it.
a game out of the barcode now with smartphones. Like, the technology's there.
I think they have one of those. It's like
I'm sure.
waifu barcode waifu.
Waifus.
I've seen. Yeah. So you scan a random barcode and it generates you a random waifu.
All right,
We should check that out. We should have done
definitely
that one for the
Yeah,
thing.
I'm gonna play that.
Here's Minion Miners.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Just that's garbage. It looks like there's a Mob Psycho OVA, which I'm pretty excited about.
It looks like they're going on a ski trip.
I never catch OVAs because they're never in any of the anime feeds that I watch, but hopefully I'll remember to look for this one. When does it come out? Does it say?
September 25.
Oh, shoot. I'll never remember.
Yeah, it's
Rest
gonna
in
be so
peace. Oh, man. Mob Psycho's so good, though.
Well, here is the amazing, the only good isekai, the best anime that's ever been created.
ReZero.
Konosuba.
Oh, yes.
Movie. Boom, boom, boom. I'm dabbing. You can't see it.
I'd
I'm
rather have
pumped.
season 3, but I'm pretty happy for a movie, too.
This is pretty good because I will probably never get a season 3. But I was always so upset because season 3, in the light novels that were coming up next, season 3 would be the best novel, which is where they go to Megumin's Crimson Village, and that was the best part of the entire series. And I was so upset that we were never going to get a season 3, but they're making it into a movie, and I'm psyched. Everybody get hyped.
I don't think you could do it justice with only a movie, but it's better for me than reading a light novel, so I'm pretty happy for this.
So light novels are already shorter than a normal novel. That's why they're light novel.
Of course.
And this one was broken up into 2 parts. So there probably is a good amount of stuff that you could fit into a movie, and you wouldn't have to cut too much.
You think?
So you could at least get most of the story and most of the good parts. I think it's going to be all right. I think they'll be able to fit it all. As long as it goes through the origins of the Crimson Village people, which is like the coolest thing in the world. They find ancient artifacts. Megumin is like super adorable, and this is like the first step where they canonically
Made
get
her
into
the
a
main
relationship.
girl.
Yeah, they make her the main girl.
That's so crazy that the guy did that too.
I think it's also got Eris in it, if I'm right.
Well, she's like number 2 most popular,
Yeah.
so of course.
Well, this light novel was made way before any of the popularity polls.
Ah, okay.
It was like the first ones were coming in, and so he's like, yeah, well, Megumin's my favorite, so it's like they'll make it all that.
Yeah. Well,
So-
isn't there another spin-off manga where it's Megumin and Eris and they're thieves?
Yeah, in Cosmo, because Cosmo's one of the thieves.
Oh,
as
is
well.
he?
Yeah.
I thought it was like
I haven't seen the
like,
spinoff, but in that manga, so Kazuma and Eris break into someplace with like masks on, and
Wait, Megumin and Eris, you mean? Or
no,
Kazuma and Eris.
yeah,
Okay, interesting.
And it's like they become infamous throughout the town, and Megumin thinks that's awesome, and she sees it, and then
Oh, right. I think you explained this to me before.
and then
Yeah.
she gets like a kind of crush on Kazuma's doppelganger, which, she doesn't know it's Kazuma. So
Is it like
I
a
have a
Soga
problem
King
with these
thing where
things.
everyone knows it?
No.
Okay. Nobody knows it.
yeah, or at least Megumin doesn't.
Right.
I think Aqua knows because she's pretty smart. She knows
Is she?
everything. She obviously she's retarded.
Yeah.
But in a cute way. And then it's like she knows meta. Like you could see somebody's spirit and be like, yeah, I know it's Cosmo.
True. Yeah.
I'm like, great show. It's gonna be a great movie. I'm so psyched.
Is there a spin-off manga also for this arc?
No, I don't think so.
No. Because I would
There might be a
read it.
mainline manga of the arc. Who knows?
Yeah, I never even thought to look for the actual mainline manga.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I don't know where it is.
I'll
I
have
haven't
to
seen
I'll have
it.
to look into it because I need more Konosuba. I just haven't had enough in my life. It's been so long.
It has been a while, yeah. But it was so great. As soon as I saw season 2, I rushed to get the light novel, and this was the first one that I read because it was right after this series.
Yeah.
Fantastic. After reading this, I was like, wow, if they're all this good, I'm going to read them all. So I read them all, and they were good, but they weren't this good.
Right.
Like, I haven't read the recent one, and I think there's 2 that I haven't read, so maybe I'll read that someday. But I've got a lot of backlog of reading. I'm trying to read like 70 books this year, and I don't
Wow, what a
want to
nerd.
waste one with
All right,
Konosuba.
Poindexter. All right. What do you mean waste one? That's the only good book you'll
Well,
read.
I can't put it on my Goodreads account
Yes, you
because it's
can.
too embarrassing.
Yes, you can. It's embarrassing to have it not on
People
there.
put manga volumes on there, and it's like, no way you can do that. It's a comic book, and Western comics. They put Western comics.
I've done that with a Dokusho meter, which is like Japanese Goodreads. But that's because
But that's fine.
I know.
That's Japanese, yeah.
Another movie that I'm excited to see, but I'll probably never see movies because they're never up there. Like Promare, remember that, the firefighter one that may or may not have stolen from NN no Shobotai, but
Dude,
that I couldn't find that.
It looks
anywhere.
so sick, but nobody's fan subbing it
Yeah.
because it's apparently coming out in English in October, so they're not doing that. But it looks so amazing. We were gonna do a whole episode on it,
I
but
wanted
couldn't
to
find it.
Yeah,
I mean, unless you want to listen to the Japanese one, and then you can.
can't even find that.
You can, oh yeah, I got it. Pretty sure.
No, it
it's-
was a 10-minute one that you could find because that's the same one I found.
we'll check, but yeah.
Yeah. But similarly, like, I'm scared to kind of get hyped for any of these movies. Like, Ni no Kuni, that was the game. The DS is the one that pushed me over the edge to start learning Japanese for real.
I didn't even know that. Who's the wheelchair
They're
dude?
just new characters.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't recognize any of the cover. That's why
Yeah,
I didn't
know.
see it.
I only saw the title to recognize it, but I saw a trailer a while ago and it looks cool because there's just something about the world. It's Ghibli basically.
Yeah,
so
it is. Yeah, it's a very.
It's
cool
hard.
game.
It's hard to fail with
Do
Ghibli.
you have no interest in playing the second one?
I do.
With the reverse trap? No, just normal
Wait.
trap.
Yeah, he's a normal tramp.
Yeah, the prince. Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought he was a girl. The game would have been okay.
I thought so too.
Let's have some gender equality and have cute females as the lead.
Yeah.
Like, why would it be a dude?
So the only thing I've actually known about Ni no Kuni 2, I watched a couple of reviews, but before that I watched like the first episode of a Japanese Let's Player. You start off, you're like the president of the U.S. He like gets into a car crash and he gets isekai'd into the Ni no Kuni fantasy world.
Oh, wow.
And he's got his suit on and he gets isekai'd into the trap prince's room and the prince is like holding up a tiny little dagger. He's like, "Oh, I'm the prince. Get out of here." And he's like, "Whatever, kid." He just like kind of pushes him by a little bit and walks through. He's like, "I gotta figure out what's going on. I'm a president."
He's taking charge, man.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
alpha.
I can't emphasize how cool it is for a guy in a suit to be in a fantasy world. You never see that, and it's such a good look.
Yeah. Suits look fantastic.
Yeah, they do.
Suits are
Especially
the coolest looking stuff.
especially in a fantasy world. At one point, like a coup is starting in that world, like in the castle right then and there. And there's like some soldiers who are about to kill the prince. Well, they're about to like slash at him with swords, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm gonna die!" And he's like cowering or whatever. And then you just hear boom, bang, and like the president shot him. He's got a real gun in the fantasy world, and
America!
he shot him. Yeah, I know. And
Cowboy.
but like sadly, like in the first 30 minutes, he gets like a fantasy outfit, and I don't think he
Okay.
can ever put the suit on again. And
That's awful.
made me want to not get the game.
Does he keep his gun?
Yeah,
Is that incorporated in the game? Like,
yeah, it is.
That's so cool.
I'm pretty sure. I'm like 95% or so sure that he can shoot it.
Fantasy guns are like some of the awesome
It's a
things.
normal gun. It's a normal gun.
No, I mean like guns in fantasy settings.
Yeah.
Or like even steampunk guns are awesome. Or magic guns are pretty sweet with like magic
Right,
bullets. Or
yeah.
like Persona. That's pretty cool. Persona 3.
Oh, like the evokers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're not even technically guns. I don't think
Well,
they can shoot.
Yeah. And in Persona 5, they have guns.
Oh, you're right. But those are real guns in the fantasy world and in the cognition
Real guns
world.
in the-
Well, they're BB
Yeah.
guns in real life, but,
Yeah,
when they go
yeah.
into the worlds, they're real guns.
But it's cool. I like guns in
I-
a setting. I think
yeah.
it's pretty cool.
I don't think it's as cool in Persona for whatever reason. Maybe because everything else is like almost real lifey.
Already there, yeah.
But like this is like pure like Tolkien type fantasy, like high fantasy like type stuff. To have a gun in that, it's so
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
The juxtaposition is so good.
Speaking of other video game based things, we've also got Dragon Quest: Your Story,
Which is another movie that I bet I'll never be able to find online, but I would like to see it.
I'm sure you could find it.
It looks very DreamWorksy, like with the facial animations and stuff. It looks nothing like Toriyama's like original
Is it
designs.
3D? It looks like How
Yeah.
to Train Your Dragon.
It does. It does. Like that's what I really got that vibe from.
Interesting.
How to Train Your Dragon Quest.
I loved How to Train Your Dragon. And the second one was okay, but the first one I really liked the first one.
There was like a song or two in that movie that was like really good. I think there was like maybe a main theme or something.
I don't remember.
Yeah. I just remembered that right now. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, How to Train Your Dragon was pretty cool. And this one looks like it's based on the best story, I think, of all the Dragon Quest games, number 5. The one where you could pick a wife.
Nice.
Actually, I think in the 8 port for 3DS you can as well.
Is that one out on anything?
What,
In
5?
English? Yeah.
Yeah, but not in a form you would want to play.
And what do you mean?
Well, it's like 2D and stuff. Like I think
It's 2D?
yeah, 5. This movie one?
No, the new one.
Oh, the brand new one. Like
Yeah.
okay, 11. Yeah, that's out in English for PS4, PC,
What about Switch?
and not Switch yet, but the port's been announced. That's the definitive edition.
Interesting.
You could get the PC one. That's probably more your speed.
Yeah, I don't know if my PC can run it.
Oh, true.
It's
Yeah,
dying.
yeah. Weak baby PC.
Everybody, if you want to get Aiden a new PC, click that support link in the chat. You can also find us on YouTube and Anchor.fm. All the
yeah.
links are in the bottom.
that
We've reached the end of the.
It was so abrupt. I
episodes.
didn't even realize it.
Well, when I see a transition, I just
Yeah,
go
you
got to
jump on
You
it.
gotta take what you
Seize
want.
every opportunity.
Take what you want in life, and I want a new computer. So help me
So
out.
take a computer, go to Radio Shack. Wait, no,
Radio Shack.
go to computerstore.com.
We're gonna go to
and
Amazon
steal it.
Warehouse.
Yeah. Break in. There aren't any humans staffing there. It's all drones.
I'll just I'll get like a toaster and put it on my
No,
head.
they're
and
all
it's
of the wage cage robots, so they can't escape to stop you.
Well, you know what they can't stop? They can't stop us crashing this plane.
Yeah, with no survivors.
No survivors.
Boom.